What's up, y'all? It's John Navacha, the leader dealer, out here wearing the new duck hunt season hat. What you know, duck season hunting hat. What you know about that? And hey, we got the leader dealer tale of the day is about a story of my son who is 6 years old, and I tossing around the idea one night about what type of car his younger sister, who's 3 years old now, will eventually be driving. And my son has been on the tip of catching the ladybugs this past year, and so he was been out catching ladybugs. There's a Volkswagen Beetle. We were talking about how to we're gonna get one of those and spray painted with white polka dots or whatever, and make her a ladybug car when she grows up. And so that all there. And then later, I think it was like the next day or only a couple of days after, where I logged in one night and I saw this one right here. This one right here in the auction listings is a Volkswagen Beetle, and guess what? It had the ladybug on it, which is pretty cool. So this one out in California is a theft recovered car. It looked like they maybe got a hold of the fog lights. Maybe they stole the wheels. They look like some alternative jank wheels on there. Say hi to the Bigfoot. Looking like a nice car. You know, interior in good condition. Looked like maybe they stole a radio out of it or trim panel pieces or whatnot. Looked like a nice car. And is a theft recovered vehicle at the insurance auction. They didn't have no key for it, and it looked like it was on a tripometer, and they didn't even want to hit it to be on the miles. But upon a little bit further investigation on the miles, and like right here, it looks like maybe they disconnected, removed the battery. Who knows what all else they did. And so, but doing the vehicle history report, checking on the miles, this thing only had like 20 some thousand miles. And so, you know, I bid, I get what I need to for it. It looked like it still had a clear title on it, theft recovered front end, stationary, not running, whatever. Got a deal on it. Was able to find a deal, but all the way out in California, and I'm in Tennessee. The calculation was definitely in there, accounting for all the variables. But ultimately, knowing this car ready to go is like a $19,000, $20,000 car. So I get my high bid in during that night. That next morning, I just come to work. I ain't paid for the car yet. I hadn't set up any transporter to bring it or nothing. And I get a phone call, and the guy on the line is like, "Hey, it's the leader dealer. You guys bought the Volkswagen Beetle out of Fremont, California yesterday. Is that right?" I'm like, because I mean, it strikes me as immediate concern, because I mean, there's a lot of fraudsters that go grab cars, all this other, and I'm like, yeah, I did buy it. How did you know? And then he was like, well, it was he said he owned that car, that it was an anniversary gift for his wife, and that it was stolen from them. And then it was, I guess later on, it was discovered and recovered, and the guy followed it, knew that it ended up at this sale, and I guess he, being a private individual, not able to bid on it, you know, we bought it, and I guess the auction shared with him who bought it. And so a guy called me and asked if he could buy it back, and I mean, I think I bought it for a very good deal. You know, not running, no keys, and all this other, but I definitely related to the guy. And I shared with him about my son, saying that I told him I was particularly drawn to this vehicle because of the ladybug that was on it, and I told him why. And so he laughed for a little bit. And so he was kind of gauging on what I would sell it to him for, and I said, okay, well, they normally go for 19. It's a salvage car. Even though it did have a clear title, and he didn't, point out anything about it or whatever. Maybe he didn't know. But I said salvage because it's at the salvage auction, and so told him that, how about half price, like $9,000, $8,000. And then he came back and hit me with a little counter, and we accepted. Was able to get the baby back back home to him. And so there's only been maybe a handful of times where in the biz I bought and I sold the car at the same time at the same auction without it ever leaving the spot. And so this is one of them. I'm glad that Beetle was able to get back to the original owner's hands, and hopefully his old lady is enjoying riding it once again. That is your leader dealer tale of the day.